So, yet another interview from the Social Media and Recruitment Conference. I've got Huw with me, who presented this morning what I thought was a really good presentation. So Huw, please introduce yourself and the organisation.
Hi, I'm Huw Davies. I'm the Press and Communication Manager for the European Personnel Selection Office, which is a public sector body which does all the recruitment for the European institutions, so the European Commission, the Parliament, the Council, Court of Auditors, all those EU institutions largely based in Brussels.
So a seriously big job and a highly visible and political job all rolled into one.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
Okay. You presented this morning about some of the innovations and changes you guys have been making in terms of using social media. One very simple question. Why did you decide to change what had probably been working reasonably okay to something that was going to be quite an experiment?
Well, it's two main drivers really. The first one is getting the right audience. We really wanted to make sure we were attracting the young top graduates from across Europe. We weren't sure we were doing that, so we needed to look at other methods of reaching those people. And the second driver really was cost and budget. As a public sector body, we always have to be thinking about how much money we spend, what we spend it on. A lot of advertising, traditional advertising, television, radio, even press, is very expensive. So we had to look at every avenue really to see what we could diversify into, what we could try and test to see how we could reach people in a different way.
Okay, great. One follow-up question, then I'm going to go across to Julia, who represents Terra Firma, your advertising agency. Simply put, what was the brief you gave to Terra Firma? And I'm sure it was something more than written on the back of a cigarette packet, which is the usual brief.
Well, you say that.
Okay, so...
No. I mean, it was very much a sort of organic partnership, really. We said the sort of people we were trying to attract, so graduates under 35, specifically focused in different countries where we have problems getting enough applicants. So it was that we wanted to reach those people, and we already had an idea in our head that we wanted to use specific social media platforms, so that was also part of the brief as well. But then we were happy to listen to their experience about what they'd found with other international organisations, other clients they'd had, and learn from that and sort of put the two together really to form the final brief.
Brilliant. So Julia, please introduce yourself and who Terra Firma are.
My name is Julia Levy. I'm Head of Strategy and Solutions for Terra Firma, which is an international recruitment communications agency with clients around the world.
Okay, so a cigarette packet with a brief on the back arrived in your inbox. What was your first response? Oh my God, or actually, we can really help here?
My first response was one of just complete excitement, because any time that we've got a client that is wanting to try new things and ideas, there's a phenomenal opportunity. The second response is the responsibility that goes with that, because they are taking a risk and we really want to make it work for them. So we know that there is a huge amount of work to be done, and we want to make it as successful as it possibly can be. What's so exciting about things like Facebook advertising is it is incredibly easy to see what is working, the opportunity to measure literally every step of the way, from what was working on a creative standpoint, what was working with the microsite that we created for the client, as well as the Facebook advertising campaign, where people were coming from, what they did on the site, and then ultimately the most important measure, who was actually going through to apply for the job. And so we were able to show them all sorts of insights about where the traffic was coming from, what kinds of messages were working best. This is one of the joys with Facebook advertising, the ability to optimize the message every single step of the way. You compare it to a print ad where the ad goes out and it sits up there for a few weeks and then that's it. We were able to say to them, you should try these languages, this wording, this picture, and we learned a huge amount along the process as well. So it's actually informed their entire recruitment communication strategy.
Okay, going back now to Huw. What also interested me was actually, despite the graduate focus, you actually did some experimentation looking for multilingual secretaries.
That's right, yeah.
That was, whose idea was that, just out of interest? Because I think that's pretty cool.
To be honest, I'll be quite frank, it was a question of timing. That was the first recruitment that came up after we'd had the idea, and we wanted to test it in that area. But it was very interesting actually seeing that, which in a way is a bit more limited because you can't look so much at people's degrees or where they've studied, and so it was interesting to test the limitations there before moving on to a sort of wider or well, not even wider, actually a more specific brief in terms of the graduates. So no, it was an excellent way of testing the market.
Okay. Facebook, job boards, career site. In the future, what do you think your money and budgetary is going to be spent on?
I wouldn't like to pick between the three, but whatever allows us to target people in the best way.
Perfect. Right. So Julia, Facebook, Google, job boards, company career sites. Where do you really see the big opportunities?
It's exactly the same as Huw said. It's all about understanding the target candidate profile and engaging with them where they're active. The days of just build it and they will come, I think, are long past.
So an old man's perspective, from the days when I used to run magazines and newspapers and we didn't even know how many people were buying it, let alone putting an ad in and getting a response, to a day when you can target right down to somebody in a nano part of Europe, look at language skills and send them the right message at the right time. I think recruitment advertising really is now recruitment marketing, and it's been great fun. So just to say thank you, Julia, and you give a plug, because there may be some job seekers. What's the career site they should go to?
They should go to www.eu-careers-online.eu. We've got a recruitment open at the moment until the 14th of April for graduates from wherever they are across Europe.
We'll give that one a plug. And the Terra Firma email address. Come on, give a plug.
Get hold of me, jlevy@terrafirmaassociates.com, or you can visit our site or our soon-to-launch blog.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, guys. Appreciate it.